come to my mind. We had a great run of it. He's a great coach, and I'm proud to have him as a friend and proud to have had the times that we had. We just had a great experience.
Can you answer Switzer's question now?
What?
Do you think you can answer Barry's question now?
I've never been able to know why. I fucked it up. That, not just that, but anything else. No, I can't answer those questions.
Well, good morning, good people. Mark Holmes here, of course, with Joe Bear in the house and having a rare appearance here at Joe Boo's Man Cave. I am not here that often, not as often as I would like to be. At certain points in your life becomes bigger than just you, where service for others and looking out for others is paramount in what you have to do in your life. And that's one of the things that I have always been, is a person who tries to look out for others. And sometimes you have to make sacrifices and things to make sure you are taking care of others and so on. And I'll leave that right there. So that's one of the reasons that we are at the Red Brick House as much as we are taking care of family and such. So this morning, we are on the Brian Schottenheimer watch. The Cowboys only seem serious about interviewing Brian Schottenheimer. And it's funny because this actually fits the pattern. People are in disbelief. People are mad. People are like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? You're telling me this is the best you do. And I feel bad actually for Brian Schottenheimer, because Brian Schottenheimer is a no-win situation, because ultimately he may end up being a really good coach for the Cowboys, or he may end up being Dave Campo. What's clear is Jerry Jones, he does not want to do the work. He does not want to compete. He does not want to pay. And I'm betting that Brian Schottenheimer, getting his first and only opportunity to be a head coach, he's not going to say, I want $20 million a year. He's not. He's not going to demand you do this, that, and the other. He is not going to shade the Joneses and say, this sucks. He is going to be part of their comfort level. But I don't know if you notice this, but this is the pattern for the Dallas Cowboys. Think about this. The Cowboys, instead of Bobby Wagner, go for an Anthony Barr. Bobby Wagner, who originally wanted to come here with Dan Quinn. Oh, no. He's going to be too expensive. And the funniest thing about Cowboy fans here, I'm going to tell you, it's actually unnerving to me, because even now, some of you will believe the bullshit that the Cowboys feed you. Although some of you are beginning to wake up to it and realize that it really is bullshit. Because they'll have you believe things that aren't true. Basically, the Cowboys had you believing that 4 years ago, Bobby Wagner was too old and too expensive. Oh, no. Bobby, no. He spent, after having 170 tackles. And we always hear Stephen Jones, we look for value. And you know what? I'm going to explain to you. Value, special purchase, cost effective are all the meaning of the same thing. It means it's cheap. Okay? I remember when I was doing a lot of big commercial projects, had a bunch of guys that worked for them and, needed tools and things. And I remember Home Depot had these drills that were special purchase. Now, I've always been a DeWalt guy. I have my DeWalt laser that I bought in 2003. Still works. I used it at the Red Brick House. It's huge because the technology is a lot smaller, but it still works. I still have drills and a vacuum that use the old batteries that are like this with like the pecker on them. And the batteries still work. They still work. But they had these special value or special purchase drills. And they were only like 89 cordless drills. So I'm like, hey, I got 10 guys that got to hang drywall. And I bought like 8 of them. Yeah, shit, they're cheap. Within a couple of days, you start smelling the motor burning in them. Within 2 weeks, they were all dead. They didn't do the job. They were broken, but they didn't cost me a lot of money. Yeah, I got the drywall hung, but I wasn't going to be hanging another project with those same drills because those were cost effective. So the Cowboys said, no, Bobby Wagner. And Bobby Wagner, he has slowed down. He's slowed down to like 120 tackles a season 4 years later. See, we settle for Noah Brown instead of DeAndre Hopkins. Oh, no. Hopkins, he going to want to get paid. He going to want more money, and he's more vocal. Noah Brown, he's been with us for all these years. We believe in our own guys. They're value adds. They're value adds. And I know when I had said, God, I'd love to get Calais Campbell. I said, Calais Campbell, that would have been the guy when he left Arizona. Some 8 years later, runner-up MVP, defensive MVP, NFL Man of the Year, doesn't miss games. No, that's too expensive. That's too expensive. See, you get what you pay for in longevity and being a certain thing that they do exceptionally well. Stephen Jones' mentality is, hey, we like position flex. Position flex. Yeah, it's true. A pair of pliers is position flex. I can use it on a nut. I can use it on some pipes. But at some point, I need a monkey wrench, which is a specialty one. I may not use it that often, but that set of pliers doesn't do that. It may have the little cutter there to cut wire, but I damn sure don't want to wire my house with a pair of universal pliers. I need a side cutter. I need some wire strippers. You need a special thing for special stuff. So when you go through and say, we believe in our own guys, this is the exact same thing. We believe in our guys. That's why we always hire from within. It's part of our comfort level. We won't get challenged, and it's going to be cheap. It's going to be cheap. That's Stephen Jones, 100%. Now, it may end up being that this isn't the Dave Campo years. Maybe it's not. Maybe, as I was saying last night in my fireside chat, if you look at Sean McVay's resume before he got to the Rams, it really wasn't a lot there that said this guy is going to be a genius. He was offensive coordinator for the Commanders during the Jay Gruden years. The waning years of RG3 and Kirk Cousins. It was just bad. It was just bad. And I'm sure when he got hired, if that had been the Cowboys, I mean, oh my God, this is the best you can do? This is the best you can do. Now, Brian Schottenheimer might succeed because he's getting his chance. Maybe this is like Eminem. You got one shot, one opportunity, and he's going to lose himself and becomes a star. You don't know. Excuse me. The problem is here like everything the Cowboys do, there's no research behind it. There's no attempt to get the best. They just seem to say, hey, next man up. Hey, Brian, you've been here the last 2 years. Why don't you be coach? There we go. Yeah, why don't you be coach? We like you. We trust you. Yeah, you can be coach. Instead of saying, Dion might bring some changes here that we're not comfortable with. And I don't know if Dion's going to be successful. There's no guarantee on that one either. But the Cowboys, they stay in this small bubble where they feel like we're fine with what we do and we know better than everybody else. And nothing could be further from the truth. So Cowboy fans, I don't know why we expect things because, again, when we had Dan Quinn here, Dan Quinn, Cowboy fans, believed that we were better off getting rid of that guy. Dan Quinn sucks. He can't stop the run. We got destroyed in the playoffs. It's Dan Quinn's fault. He's a loser. And see, the thing that kills me is I have my own morals and thoughts and things that usually is independent thinking. But the amazing thing is, I got in on the mob mentality of, yeah, man, Dan Quinn, man, what? He was throwing the game, man. Dan Quinn, he wanted us to lose, man. Instead of looking at Mr. Catboy, who believes in position flex, and instead of getting a guy like a Demario Davis, says, we're okay with Anthony Barr. We're okay taking a safety and putting him in the middle because it doesn't cost a lot of money and it's position flex. And instead of saying, guys, we don't have any studs on the defensive line. We don't have a Chris Jones on there. We don't even have a freaking linebacker. Instead of saying, why aren't the team providing the players we need? We blame everyone but the people who are putting the players on the field that are okay with mediocrity. They're okay with signing guys who are in their 30s for the defensive line that didn't perform or on the tail end of their career or have never shown shit. And then we turn around and we blame Micah Parsons. Well, Micah Parsons, Jesse Holley, literally. Well, Micah Parsons is selfish because he's not playing linebacker or defensive end, at an elite level. He's not putting in the time to do two positions. That guy's a bum, man. Let's trade him and get his ass out of here because he sucks. The fuck are you talking about? They literally have us turn on the few things that keep us relevant. If you can't recognize that the defense was night and day better with Micah Parsons than without, then I don't know what to tell you. Then you're just a freaking idiot. You're just an idiot. If you think that the Cowboys, first of all, are smart enough to be able to trade Micah Parsons to somebody for 2 number ones when they literally gave away Amari Cooper. Because see, again, going back to it, Cowboys, we're better off with Michael Gallup on one leg than Amari Cooper. Yeah, because we're comfortable with Michael Gallup, even though he's on one leg. It's okay. We're going to get up. This is the mentality of the Cowboys. This is the mentality that Jerry Jones let out the bag that says, we're going to do more with less. Do more with less. And again, we go through, and instead of looking at Dak Prescott and saying in the same way, Tony Romo, let's be clear here. A lot of y'all think I don't like Tony Romo. Nothing could be further from the truth. Tony Romo was the only thing keeping us relevant during his time here. If you didn't have Tony Romo, you would have been the Cleveland Browns. Not the Cleveland Browns of recent years, the Cleveland Browns of before. You would have been a sub-500 team every single year. And the same would be true had we not had Dak Prescott. And again, a team that usually only has one good receiver, has not had a great tight end since Jameson Witten was young, had a couple of good seasons of Zeke Elliott, but has constantly gone downhill. But some reason people still think Zeke Elliott is a 1,500-yard back, and he's been further from it. Oh, there's another one for you. Instead of Derrick Henry, Zeke Elliott. We know Zeke. We believe in Zeke. No. We don't want Derrick Henry. No. Don't want Derrick Henry. We'd rather have less with Zeke. Oh, no. We don't want Amari Cooper. We'd rather have less with a one-legged Michael Gallup. Oh, no. No. We don't want DeAndre Hopkins. We'd rather have Noah Brown. No. We don't want Bobby Wagner. We'd rather have a safety playing or Anthony Barr on one leg. No. We don't want Dion Sanders or Ben Johnson or Aaron Glenn. We'd rather have Brian Schottenheimer. Guys, most people think it's a disaster waiting to happen. And it may be. The one thing that would keep this from being a disaster will be if the Joneses actually change their philosophy of free agency and actually support the coach instead of undermining him. And I doubt that that's going to happen, but stranger things have. And I honestly feel bad for Brian Schottenheimer because he's in a position where he's always going to be looked down as the redheaded stepchild. Before I get out of here, I got to get back down the road to the Red Brick House. And we've got a lot of stuff that we can unpack, so I've got time on the road that I can go through it because now we're back to the blame game that all of our problems still are because of Micah Parsons and him needing to get paid, that we should trade him. And I'm going to give my thoughts and stuff. This is getting kind of long in here, and again, I got to be back by 2 o'clock for some repair work that needs to be done. So I could talk about it on the road. We got that to unpack, and we've got the coaching watch to see if it does actually get hired. Brian Schottenheimer actually gets hired today. And who may be coming back and who are going to be the assistants and things, because we literally have a week and 2 days, and we have the Senior Bowl. And it'd be nice to have at least our coordinators in place so that way we can start figuring out a philosophy. Let's listen to a little bit of Rich Eisen as we get ready to get out of here about Dion Sanders still being a wild card in there and whether or not he's going to leave Colorado.
I'm so Tennessee. I heard Colorado had stepped up pretty significantly.
What, NIL and stuff like that, or for him?
For him.
Okay.
I know Rick George, the AD, has a lot of value for Dion and what he's meant to the program. Not only meant to the program, it's meant to the school, meant to the state, all of it. It's just what are his options going to be? If Dion could be an NFL head coach, does that make him sit there and go, okay, this is a place, this is the next chapter for me? I know, having been around his program and him some, and just being there at the Alamo Bowl, the part that you probably can't get the same in the NFL is helping develop young men and take them from a place in their lives where there's uncertainty and you can be transformational in that role. That part I get.
And that's important to Dion, for real.
Yeah, and
he
so
loves that.
It's just going to be a different chapter if he stays there. Whatever Colorado has to do to keep him financially, if there's no NFL in the thing, it's like, to me, that would, and it's obviously easy to say it's not my money,
right?
But it's like, that would seem like a no-brainer, because without him, the program is and was totally irrelevant. And with him, it is nationally relevant. You can hate Dion if you're sick of all the coverage and content and all, but people pay attention to it, and they got a lot better with him there. So, what is it gonna? It's two pieces. It's the NFL. Like, I don't know how much Colorado can compete with the NFL if the NFL comes for him.
Right,
but if it doesn't, it's like, okay, what do we need to do to make sure that this relationship is still thriving?
And when you look at it overall, I could see why Dion would want to move to the Cowboys. It doesn't look like the Cowboys are going to hire him. Looks like they're going to, they're already circling around either Kellen Moore or Brian Schottenheimer.
Kellen Moore, mind you, is got a second
the
interview
Buccaneers,
with
John Spytek, who Brady
Saints.
knows for forever and a day. And they do have a head coaching position open. They could potentially draft his son. I don't know if that's what they're thinking or what the new general manager would be thinking. I know what the new general manager would be thinking. Brady would know.
Yeah.
So I don't know if this is going to be something that pops over the next few days for Prime. But other than that, just staying put and building this next iteration, no doubt one would think, even with the talent that's leaving, stronger version of what he's doing. The Big 12 is a path to a bye week, man. So you can be in the college football thing. It almost was this year.
And it's winnable, Rich, because you look and you saw Arizona State was picked to finish last in it. They had a young quarterback who's really talented, and Cam Scatterbo, who was an amazing story, came no offers, went to Sac State, and a lot of credit to Kenny Dillingham. But that program came out of nowhere, and they made it to the playoff, and they almost beat Texas, by the way. So
yeah, I know. And easily the best playoff game. You could say, was it the best playoff game, period? Or Ohio State, Texas got interesting at the end? You know what I mean?
Arizona State, Texas was pretty awesome.
You're looking back at the entirety of the college football playoff. I think that was the best game.
Yeah, I think so.
But again, they're in the right conference to do that from.
Yeah.
Because anybody has a chance. BYU was picked to finish 13th. That was the team, obviously, that blew them out in the Alamo Bowl. BYU could be a top 15 team this year. They would have a chance. And we know Dion has two very coveted quarterbacks there. One was a big recruit from the state of Georgia. The other one was a prolific mid-major quarterback. The offensive line has definitely gotten better from where it was a year ago, and I think should keep improving. It's just, again, I think Colorado is committed to taking another step with him. But the program's going to feel a lot different just because they won't have Travis Hunter, won't have Shador. But if they still have Dion, I think they'll still be able to attract.
Right now?
They
All right, so will Dion Sanders leave Colorado? Sounds like he's got a great gig. I don't know that really Dion would want to mess up his brand. I'll be honest with you. I know that you are a Dallas Cowboy, San Francisco 49er, Atlanta Falcon, a Commander, and a Raven, and that you probably have a special place for the Cowboys and things. But sometimes you got to give up on things that you love because they're not going to change. The Cowboys are not going to change. So I don't know, man. I just don't know. I am completely lost. I know that this weekend, watching Championship Sunday, seeing the Commanders and the Eagles, that one of those two teams are going to the Super Bowl, it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt. I'll be right there saying it's going to hurt. So all we can do is pick up the pieces and don't set any expectations that this team is going to do anything. That way, you won't be hurt when they fail. It's unbelievable that I'm saying that, but it's the truth. Alrighty, good people, I appreciate y'all. Today is a major milestone, and I'll have something on that a little bit later that I have to say we did together, and I appreciate you guys. Peace out.